Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, my name's Michael.
My name's Cleve.
And welcome to an exciting episode of Friendship. Imagine for the audio people that are just listening are like, what's happening right now?
So you gotta go to youtube.com/Friendship Supreme.
Did you ever say
Check it
Supreme?
out.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. We didn't.
Supreme.
We didn't. No, thank you. There it is. Nailed it. Nailed it, guys. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Lock it up. What are the podcasts that dares to ask? Have you ever chased a dream?
I'm living it right now, baby.
Yeah, boy. Who doesn't want to create a podcast?
It doesn't support my family. In fact, I
It's
couldn't
financially
go get a
crippling
sandwich
us.
from it.
It's financially crippling us, but who wouldn't want to run a podcast and a Twitch channel with their best friend?
Have you ever been on a boat with a small hole on it and you're just plugging it with your finger? You're not stopping the water all the way.
Bro,
But boy,
that is
you're buying time.
that's what we're doing. Oh, shit. That is a good analogy. That's our new logo. Wrap it up. Let's do it.
Just fucking thumbs in.
People like,
That's
what do
the thing. Hey, come on, baby, thumbs in. Let's go.
Oh, shit. We were met with too much reality with that question, and I don't like it. I'm sorry that I even asked it.
A bit of a chill. A bit of a chill down the fun.
Today's episode, we're going to talk about somebody that did follow their dream and launched not only a comic book, but within a whole comic book universe. Danny Quick, the co-creator of a comic book called AceBlade, as well as 3 other titles: Supreme King Supreme, Lumberjacks, and Harlem, I believe.
Harlem, yes.
In the Fourth Wall Productions. Cleve and I peruse. It's no surprise that we peruse the old TikTok, right? Oh my god, that's crazy. We go through TikTok a lot, guys. It's embarrassing how much it's embarrassing how much time we spend on TikTok. But we stumbled across a TikToker, a man on the TikTok.
Sometimes I lay at night and I'm all by myself and my brain starts slowly crippling on me and I'm like, wonder what's on TikTok real quick. And I scroll until my eyes get heavy and I roll over and pass out. Because that's how I deal with what's going on with me.
You ever just need to be talked off a ledge and you're scrolling through TikTok and then the fucking lady comes on and goes, hey, you've been scrolling a lot. Maybe you should close it and walk outside. And you're like, right off a cliff. Cliff.
I'm about to be real with you real quick, and we can cut this if we need to, but sometimes I'm laying there and I go, wonder if this is the last time I close my eyes. I'm like, well, let me get on fucking TikTok real quick. let me get through that.
So
let me pass that up.
So in case you guys were ever wondering, we also struggle. So if you need help, reach out to us or reach out to actually trained professionals, not TikTok. We've done episodes about this before. There's definitely hotlines to call if you need to talk to someone about dark thoughts. Anyways, guys, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're talking about a man that we saw on TikTok and said, you know what? This guy chased a dream. He said, I want to do comic books. We have said we want to do comic books.
I'll have a thought on it. Might as well pin it right there.
And this man, dang it, so much more work for me post-production. Anyway, and this man said, I've got a story to tell. I want to tell this story, and created a whole universe around it. And we thought, what more beautiful than to help, or not help necessarily, because he don't need us, but like to see the journey, right?
Use our platform to spread the word. And
we're going to read the first issue of this comic book called AceBlade.
On the podcast, we're going to read it?
No, we've read it.
Okay, there we go.
We're
gonna read the first issue.
I'm sorry, I say read because we're gonna do a little. This is a new thing we're gonna try to do every once in a while, where we read. What's that?
We do voices?
No, we're not doing voices. We've
I call
learned
it
that
Chuck.
Michael can't do voices. We are going to read first issues of comic books coming up, or that have existed and that we want you to get into, or each other get into, or maybe we'll say, hey, this isn't worth getting into. That exists within the world. And so, this is something we're planning on doing. We both love comic books. I frequent comic book shops more than I should. Especially with all that crippling debt we was talking about earlier. Anyways,
Thumbs
in, baby. So we took it upon ourselves to order some AceBlade comic books. Originally, we were just going to read the first one. I have now ordered the whole catalog of them. So more to come, right? So we're gonna really talk about this based off the first issue, but more to come.
How much does that run you? Just if anybody's curious.
The same price as it would run you any other actually pretty reasonable. If you want to buy it digitally, it was $2.99. If you want to buy it physically, I think it was $4.99.
Nice.
I like digital specifically because I can just wherever I am, I can read it. But if you want a physical copy, because I understand that too, as a collector of garbage. I just mean I collect a lot of stuff, not that anything I have is garbage. This is just how I talk. Anyhow, but yeah, no, reasonable price for a comic book, right? There's it's gotta cost a ton to make them, so he's not Marvel and he's not, Dark Horse or DC or Image.
Yep.
Not easy, guys. Anyways, so let's talk about it. AceBlade is the first comic book that they have done. It is about a man named did we decide Terrell?
Terrell.
Okay.
What I'm calling him.
I have issues with pronunciation of names and words in general, so like I'm always trying to
famous running back Terrell Davis.
Yeah. That works. So his name is Terrell Durham, also known as the Dragon Slayer. He is an MMA fighter. And things go awry quickly. Out the gate. He is shot, lying dead in the desert next to some random white guy in the first page. We don't know who he is in the first page.
Right. I was like, it's not that random, but yeah, no, I got you.
We eventually know who he is, but we open the page to that's the opening scene, right? We get here's a dead guy next to another dead guy that doesn't have much meaning to us, and then some paperwork, which I'm curious what's on the paperwork because it's the whole golden briefcase thing. I don't want to spoil the story, but I think that like for the most part in the biography of this character, it's pretty like he was shot for dead, left for dead, and then he becomes AceBlade. Does that feel right?
Yeah. He's he has more of a Daredevil feel than like a Superman feel. You know what I mean? Like
nitty-gritty.
I'm not covering the world. I'm covering this block. I watch this one block. This is my city. I'm watching the city. To be fair, he's in Vegas, very busy.
And and he does take the title of vigilante. Like it's not like he's calling himself a hero, right?
Right.
So that does definitely again go to the
which makes you think he kills.
Spoiler alert! I've seen into the future. He does kill people. It looks like.
That's fair.
We're here for it. Well, I'm here for more realism. Okay.
People trying to kill me. I'm gonna kill people.
Cleve hit me up. Cleve hit me up the other day with a fucking text. It was like, "Hey, you remember an Arrow when Oliver Queen was just walking around killing people?" And then now he's got like he's teaching a whole band of a team, and he's like, "You should never kill people. Like, let them have a trial. Like, maybe you like it. Maybe it's fun."
Yeah. Oh, maybe I should be a good guy because this killing thing. Whoa, it's for me.
We're looking at you, Mad Dog.
You know what? A show that I enjoyed when I watched it, but I'll never watch again. It's fucking Arrow.
Oh, 100%. I don't think I can ever drag back through and watch it.
Remember the fucking the dragging their feet that they did in that show. Oh my god! I don't know. Continue.
Okay, so yes, he is a vigilante. And so the story is essentially going to be that he died, or he didn't die, but he was left for dead. And then it seems like he's going to seek some justice, right? Something's been happening. We're in Vegas, Sin City, baby, and we love this, right? Like, this is, I think, one of my favorite things is the place setting. I think it's really fun to be in Vegas. I think that's a solid place for someone that's like, I'm going to fucking put the wrongdoers down. That's a good place. That's a Gotham. That's a real life Gotham.
Well, and and it's not New York, which everyone runs to, right?
Yep.
Things are happening in other cities.
100%. Yeah, but I stand by, like, if there was ever a place that's like Gotham City, it's 100% Vegas, right? Like, there's just shady shits happening around every corner. I'm sure there's people in weird outfits that are definitely planning things they shouldn't be planning.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then, there's also just prostitutes walking around everywhere. Next to the guy dressed as Elmo. That's Vegas for you, baby. He's an MMA fighter, so he doesn't have superpowers. Powers. He doesn't have superpowers. He is an MMA fighter, and I'm on board for. I like this too. I like superheroes, vigilantes that aren't like Superman, right? This is a big reason I hated Superman. He has every answer to everything. You could bring up shark repellent on Batman, but new iterations of Batman aren't necessarily that hokey.
Right.
But like Superman just is the answer to all. It's Deus Ex Machina out the ass. So for someone to not be super powered or gifted is nice.
Yeah. I'm always on board for someone who's just a master of a skill.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why
your Punishers and your Arrow.
I know in the movie you're not a big fan of him, but like Hawkeye, that's why he works for me. Is like not just movie, obviously, but comic too. Like someone who's just trained.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's why, like, it's funny that I don't like Hawkeye. It's really that I don't like Jeremy Renner at this point, right? That's what we've discovered. But because to the opposite of that, I like Oliver Queen. I like Green Arrow's story, although it is also because he just has a lot of Batman villains somehow. Because we couldn't have Batman, but anyway. I like the idea of having someone that very obviously gets hurt, right? He's shot in the beginning, so we know things are going to happen. The cover is him in a what looks to be a purple ninja outfit, so already wins with us because Cleve's favorite color is purple, and we're running with it, right? I like it. And he's got a big sword. We're on board with that too. You wanna wield a katana? We're here for it. So far the groundwork is great. He gets into a fight. I don't want to I don't know if it's ruining the story when you're reviewing a comic book.
It's hard to say because I feel like the first one doesn't overly tell you a lot.
It doesn't.
Which is good to review it because then we can't really spoil much because if we're just talking about just the first issue, we don't have anything to truly spoil. There's nothing game-changing to spoil.
And the first page is them dead, so.
Yeah, right. I mean, you know the ending because it was the first page. I am curious to see like the evolution of the character. Like if you've told me that he kills, if that starts to weigh. Or if he's like, I'm gonna deserve it.
It looks like he does. I came across a couple panels just trying to get a vibe for this character, and there were a couple panels that looked like some of his actions resulted in people's death.
Like Batman on the train. I don't have to save you, so bye. Like you're leaving him for dead. That's what you did.
Yeah, exactly. Here is my hope. I will say this. I want him to struggle. if we're gonna make him a vigilante that's not a superhero, doesn't have superpowers, I need him to have that struggle of like, similar to your Oliver Queen Arrow example would be like
Batman Year One.
I need him to not be great at first. He's gonna be like
Get like a good fighter, then fucking get stabbed. Like, oh shit.
Hey, I'm not right. Yeah, like Kick-Ass. You know, that's a good example. Like when Kick-Ass was like, I'm gonna go out and fight crime, and then got stabbed immediately. I want that if I'm gonna grow with the character and I want to build a connection.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm just talking about purely from a review standpoint, I'm looking forward to the growth of the artist and the storytelling as well, because I think there are some, like, this is the first comic, right? Like, this is your first comic that you've done. As far as we can tell, it's the first comic that's been done, and there are some things that, like, we would probably say, like, oh, I hope in the next one, like, it's a little smoother transition. There was at one point in time a scene that happened, and then I think we flashed back. We couldn't tell. Like, we may have flashed back, we may not have flashed back.
Yeah.
And then we're reliving the same thing, but with different dialogue. And so I think that, like, just a more decisive, concise storytelling line, like a line, and I'm fine with it not being linear, right? A lot of comic books do that, where here's a flash from here to this, and then all of a sudden now we're in this timeline or this time era. But just if I can follow it more. And then there was a couple pages that I had issue following. But I think you see the passion and the love. I think you see somebody that genuinely wants to bring this story and an interesting character and an interesting setting to life, and we want to make this happen. And so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, anytime. You never know what's going to be great, right? You never know what's going to be great. You never know what's going to fizzle out. But I mean, how excited would you be to be at the first stage of, you know, one of your favorite superheroes?
Yeah,
like, and you have that opportunity, and I think that's not something to easily be like push push about. It's nice to be like, hey, I'm issue 1. I'm getting to go along with this. Not like if you wanted to read X-Men, what would you even do with yourself?
Pay a lot of money if you want to read the first issue. But even then, they didn't release things that were not success. Like, you know what I mean? Like they had so many test markets and stuff like that. But to your point, I think a good example of that, actually, and it may not translate to a lot of people out there, but if you don't know, Cleve and I are both big fans of Steven Universe. And Rebecca Sugar, who did music for Adventure Time and then got enough backing to then go do her own cartoon, has sketchbooks of just all kinds of characters that she wanted to bring to life in Steven Universe, and like tried to hash it all out and look significantly different or not as polished in the beginning that they then eventually become. So the hope is that we see growth in the character, and then growth in the comic book writing and the artistry and everything together. Once you get, you're in a groove and you're doing things, it starts to become better. And so we definitely look at this comic book as though this is the first time someone's done this, and it's good. It has the tellings, or that has the signs of becoming a good storyline that they have. It seems like he has a plan for it, right? Because he says in the description they want to go to at least 70 issues. So that means we have to have the story written out. It's there. We just want to see how we can put it out.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for it. I think that, like I said, in the next couple of months, I will go through and try to read everything I can, and we'll do more we'll do more episodes about this. But from a starting point, I feel confident that we're going to see growth in both, and I think that's exciting. I think that
And sometimes you just want that different
absolutely.
comic, you know?
I thirst. I can't think of another word for different kinds of comics. I've actually in the last 2 or 3 months whittled down to maybe one superhero comic book that I've been buying, and aside from that, it's all like just outlandish things, different stuff. Because
sometimes you forget it's out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you forget that a comic book doesn't have to be a superhero story.
Yeah.
Cough, cough. Movie studios, cough, cough.
But like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to the future of it. I'm gonna do 2 positives and a negative. That's the right formula, right?
Sandwich.
The positive, negative, positive. Positive, like I said, I think the setting is really nice. I'm really excited for where we're at. I think it's original. Vegas is not real well done, and so I'm looking forward to that.
And there's plenty of crime you can make up there.
So much crime there.
You know what's funny is you could make up any crime you want. You can be like, I can see that happen to Vegas. That's the biggest thing.
That's definitely a big
Human trafficking,
and like
that's the biggest thing.
And like super creative shit too, like weird stuff, right? That's where the weirdos can go, right? Like I don't mean like weirdos are from Vegas. Sorry, Vegas listeners. But I mean more like that is where if I'm doing weird shit, Vegas is one of those places I think of. Like also Thailand. Take that, Thailand.
You know if he's in Vegas? You know where he's
North Carolina.
Not like his house. But, huh?
North Carolina.
Okay. So then I would just dress up like AceBlade and hand out flyers.
He's in one of the Carolinas. I might be wrong about it being north, but
okay. Not Vegas, got it.
The negative that I will say is there was one particular piece of dialogue that just completely removed me from the atmosphere. I really try to like immerse myself with what I'm reading and turn everything else off. I have usually like noise canceling headphones on while I'm reading, and I read a line that was #you're dead from someone that was a mercenary or like a ex-military assassin essentially who was about to shoot our main character, and that was the only thing that like he said #you're dead, and maybe we were going for comedy, but anything leading up before that didn't give that vibe of that character. Like this is not.
Yeah.
And so it felt out of place. And when you see dialogue like that, and I'm reading it in a specific tone in my head, and I get to something like that, it just kind of rips that away. And I have to take a second to kind of reset and okay, where are these people coming from? That would be my one complaint. And then, like I said earlier, I genuinely see the love that's been poured into this. Mm-hmm. I do acknowledge that time and effort and love has been poured into it. So I think that this is going to go somewhere that I'm excited to see where we go.
Yeah. Is this the best comic book that I've ever read? No. But there's good groundwork laid, and as they go, they can only be getting better with what they're doing, right? And I think that's kind of where I landed on with it. Is this isn't bad, and it's got to get better. Because that's everything does, right? Everything as you're doing it, you get better at it.
You fine tune your craft.
Yeah, like us. Michael's nailed that intro.
We're no, yeah, man, that's sarcasm, guys, because I didn't. If you guys have a comic book out there that you want to hear about, you want us to read, you think just something that maybe Michael or Cleve should read in our downtime, or if you want to tell us to shut the fuck up, we don't know what we're talking about because we're not artistically talented in any way at all, you'd be right in saying that. You can comment down below. Let me know what you think about me, because
let me know I'm trash.
I'm okay with that.
All.
If you guys are wanting to find AceBlade out there, you guys can go to Fourth Wall with the number 4thwallpros.com. And you can find AceBlade, King Supreme, Lumberjacks, and Harlem there. You can find other stuff that they're working on, as well as merchandise. You can buy physical copies. One thing we did absolutely love and really solidified our love for this creator is 2 of his covers, his variant covers, are based off of one of our favorite movies, The Last Dragon. And anybody that references The Last Dragon is going to be obviously instantly our best friends. Make sure you guys check him out. You guys can just type in AceBlade and find that anywhere.
Yep. It's off on the website. It's AceBlade, all one word.
And if you've ever wanted to see the ongoings of creating a comic book and what that entails, you can watch his TikToks, because it's fascinating to see all the work that him and his whole family put into it. If you guys want to find us, you guys can find us everywhere. You guys can find us everywhere. Just type Friendship Supreme. You're going to find us on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch. You want to watch us play video games and make fun of us? You can do that. If you're Danny Quick and you hate everything that we just did and you want to yell at us, you can find us there. If you love what we did, thank you. Again, we're really excited to see
enjoying us.
We're really excited to join the adventure of AceBlade and figure out where this all goes. I've been Michael.
This is Cleve. And now you're just gonna die.